Why is my... Wait, what? Was this like the whole stream? Was I on my second monitor? I wasn't. I don't know why it's bugging right now. Let me see. Um, let me see if I'm streaming on the proper monitor because it's a weird bug kind of happened. Yeah, I think we're chilling. Okay, so we're back for here, and I see. Remember this trade that I talked about, this demo trade that I took in London today. Why I say do you remember this is because I just said this is a low probability setup because we're shorting into resistance, and very likely we're going to see a reaction out of that resistance, and that's exactly what we got here. We got a reaction. We might be able to look at shorts here to continue lower, but I'm just I don't like this. This looks like a forced setup once again for me. Just too much resistance on the lows here. Gold ended up displacing early, which I said again, this was a really good filter of a losing trade here once again. Why? Because I had a pretty good buy idea here on looking to buy. It was a valid trade. We had success sweep into POI, and then we had a 1 hour FVG to look for prices higher. But the reason why I didn't take the trade is because bias was bearish, and the move that I was looking at was really risky. And looking at buys in a big massive bearish trend here is just risky. We're basically anticipating price to retrace towards this 4 hour, which we didn't do, and we ended up just displacing from here. And this is a good example why you don't go against bias. Even if you feel like you have a really good idea on price retracing towards a POI, this is generally why you don't do that. Because even if you have a very good idea, it's still very likely not gonna happen. UK again, I was watching this because we ended up first of all we ended up inverting. We inversed this as well, and this was kind of my POI that I wanted to trade off of, but we just ended up displacing DAX, massive displacement lower. AUDUSD is looking decent now after we sweep. Remember this trade I also said is gonna sweep the high. That's kind of what it did. So let's think about if we want to be shorting here. The thing is, we do have this inversion. This is probably what I'm going to be drawn towards, but we do have resistance. So I don't know yet for sure what to do with this information here, with this resistance that we have. I would say we're probably going to come for this FVG, and this already looks like a good reaction that we should have probably taken, because I mean, not really. R is bad. This is just now we don't have drawn liquidity very clear. I mean, overall I think we'll be this low, but it's the resistance. Like, you cannot argue that this is not resistance. This is definitely resistance. So basically what we want to trade is from here towards here. If we're going to look at shorts, this is where we want to trade. Once we reach this, it becomes really risky to be looking at shorts, especially since we're in a bullish range. At this point, it just is pretty much risky. We did inverse that 4 hour, which is a good sign. It's a very high chance we start going for the sell side right now. It's not that, it's weird. I wouldn't really call this high resistance. We actually still have these equal lows here, but it's weird, right? Weird to say the least. Like in a case like this, I would prefer just sitting on the bench and then kind of analyzing and deciding, okay, was this a trade worth taking, was this not a trade worth taking. But it's clear that we do have some orders here that are residing, which makes a trade instantly riskier to be taken. So this looks like a decent trade. It's just that I'm shorting into resistance. This is something I'm trying to adopt and not do anymore. This would have been the possible entry. Very nice buy sell liquidity rate here, which is a pattern I see a lot of times. Really nice buy sell liquidity rate and inversion, and we end up holding this 3-minute or 5-minute FVG. From here we just end up holding it, but I still am not sure if I want to be taking this for a couple of reasons. We didn't have a proper pullback. We do have a really good 4 hour inverse coupled with a 1 hour inverse here, 1 hour gamma bet to look into continue shorting. But the problem is resistance. We have a 4 hour FVG right in our way. Here we also have this 4 hour right here, which we just reached. We did mitigate it and we did react off it. We kind of cleared the consolidations. That's why maybe this trade makes sense, because we cleared the consolidation and the reaction higher, and now we can look to continue further on lower towards this low. But it's just something I'm not sure about, and I prefer really sitting on the bench here. I really feel like the trade is gonna work because the entry pattern looks really good, and this could have been a very decent trade. That's 440. So it's just something. This doesn't really look like, whenever, even when I looked at this, it doesn't look like resistance. Like what it looks like resistance is this. I don't know how to fully explain it. It's something kind of like intuitively done. This doesn't look like resistance. This does. It's weird, right? It's weird. Something weird. But I think the trade will be really easily won. This could have been one of the trades. Let's consider it is an A plus setup. It kind of was A plus here. And if we would have gotten a 1 hour gap here and look for the trade here and then look to target lower, it would have been A plus. Now we inversed, which makes it valid for a continuation. We have buy sell liquidity rate into inversion, into continuation here, into 4 hour gap here with the inversion here, so it makes it valid. I think this is actually gonna work, but we're too late. We missed the train, which is fine. I think like these are things I should be studying a bit more about how to deal, because there's not a big difference between this right here and the consolidation that we have here. So yeah, this is definitely looking like resistance. This is looking like structure. So it's a bit like different, right? It's a different state, different thing. But yeah, this would have been it. This would have been a good trade. Partials or break even around this London lows, and this was probably the trade of the day. This one looks like it's gonna go, but this is gonna be a demo at most because it's very extremely choppy, and definitely not wanting to be shorting into resistance. You definitely had resistance, that's for sure. But yeah, I think the A1 we should have taken, but it's okay since now I'm kind of trying to break down the kind of resistance thing, and I'm not that confident in how I'm not really sure yet how I should necessarily approach scenarios like this. But this overall looks more like structure rather than a consolidation, I feel like, doesn't it? It still looks like structure. What I would call resistance is something like this. This is what I would call resistance. This looks more like structure on the sell side here. That's what I'm thinking. But I remember shorting here, and this also looks like resistance. This is what a resistance looks like. This at this point it doesn't really look like, I don't know, it's weird. Something I need to really kind of, I don't know, familiarize myself with. But the trade would have been pretty nicely, like in terms of high time frame edge, the edge is pretty clear. But the optimal idea would have been us shorting from this 4 hour to this 4 hour. But now since we inversed and retested it, this usually what is the signal we're going to continue lower towards next strong liquidity. The thing why it made me skip the trade or not pay attention to it was this: is this high resistance or is it not? It does look like high resistance though, but it does also look like equal low. So this is a hard thing that I should probably reflect on after the day is over. What might also happen here is we take the low and we reverse. That can be also a scenario because we reverse of resistance. But yeah, it's just like something I need to, that's why I'm probably gonna be back testing a bit more today to just familiarize myself. This would be something I'm very 100% sure I would not short into, and that's why I avoided the short in London. But this is something like, it looks different. It looks like structure. That's kind of what it feels like to me. It doesn't look like resistance, it looks like structure. But yeah, we're gonna see what we do here. We're still gonna keep it. I'm probably gonna back this though, because this is what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna back this since we don't really have that much A plus setup. I would consider this an A plus setup, definitely. Now that I'm looking back at it, I would consider it an A plus setup. The problem is this is what makes an A plus setup fail most of the time, even no matter how much A plus it is. If we are shorting into high resistance, and in this case we're definitely in high resistance because we're also on equilibrium prices, it makes it really risky and really probable for this trade to fail. That's kind of the problem. No matter how good the setup looks, if no matter how A plus the setup looks like, we have perfect edge. I think the only thing we're lacking, do we have like a daily FVG or something? We have this big ass daily order block here. We do have a old 4 hour order block, which is a good area here, which react also. We have buy side liquidity into area, into the trigger, which was this. We couldn't really short here because it was Asia. Then we had a follow-up. This was the follow-up, the gap lower and the inversion here. Follow-up, boom, entry here of the follow-up and target, in theory, sell side. But this is high resistance, isn't it? Well, yeah, I would consider it high resistance because of this big ass fucking wick here. There's still a lot of orders residing there, and that's exactly where we're kind of at. but it's something kind of debatable that I'm not 100% sure here. AU was also, I think, is the weakest on higher time frame. I mean, not G was probably the weakest, but it's definitely, it's kind of the strongest, isn't it? It is. It is, but the edge did look good here on AU. I just don't know whether I should have taken it or not. Still gonna reflect that the setup looks valid. It's just that this and this looks like sell side. They have sell side, but this is the same sell side I was targeting here, except here we had a resistance protecting those equal lows. Now we don't really have resistance protecting those equal lows. It's just that price action. It's weird, to be honest. This resistance concept is something that tends to be a very high amount on about experience, to be honest. I don't think it should be necessarily. Oh yeah, and I was doing one thing today. So you know that I talked about I talked about A plus setup and only trading in A plus setup and how this actually turns you profitable. Well, I looked at my this where I filtered all my trades by A plus setup. This is an A plus setup, purple is an A plus setup. And then I looked at every month and calculate how much profit would have I made. Keep in mind, these are trades I was in them, and I made a calculus. And for June, I think it was 11%. For May it was 9%, and for April it was 12%. Bro, that's profitability right there. Only if I only would have stick to trading purple setups, which are A plus ones. Huge difference, right, compared to a break even. And I didn't, as I said before, I didn't expect choosing only to trade A plus setup making this big of a difference. I very heavily underestimated it. It makes a huge difference, and 15% months is something really doable because I have it confirmed by data, by trades that I've been in. 12%, 11% made in 2 months, and 9% in the third. This would have been around 10%. I really think, and data showing me that 10% for me monthly is really doable. 10% monthly, and my data is showing me that. So now it's just about executing those purple trades. Now, considering this trade, I still don't know the USD trade. I feel like that sell side target is really good. I feel like we would technically reach into it. Maybe I should have taken this, but yeah, A plus A only doesn't fucking matter. Let's do, I would do DXY maybe. I just want to do DXY. I want to kind of start from 2021. Let's start in March. I never really start my backtesting in March. But yeah, this trade is very likely gonna go. I feel like right now I should have probably taken it. I just am not sure yet how to distinguish resistance, right? How to distinguish resistance to structure. So let's just start going. We're gonna probably skip trade for the next day. I'm gonna keep my trade here. Now it reached London lows. Oh, what did I do? Not this. What did I fucking do, bro? Where's my chatty? Okay. Already reached London lows here. Already reached. So this meaning it would have been at 1 hour already. This would have been a decent break-even spot, but it's very likely we reach back into that break-even. But yeah, I think it's gonna go now. Maybe I should have taken this. This has potential for an A plus setup. It's just that resistance. That was the only thing. I thought this is resistance. Maybe it isn't, but technically if you look at it, this is resistance. This is what I would call resistance or a consolidation. That's probably a better way to determine. Resistance is just consolidations. This is not really a consolidation. This feels more like structure, right? Like bullish structure. It feels more like it. That's why maybe it will not give a reaction, and trading here would be a good idea to target these equal lows right here, which was my idea that I traded here, right? But it's just up to see at this point. We're gonna see what it does, and we're gonna reflect later on it. Well, let's keep on back testing. So what are we doing here on DXY? Let's consider, where are we daily? We're kind of dragging towards that. Did we switch over the flow? Let's think. Well, we didn't. I mean, we had one initial switch, which is this inverse and this, and now we're getting a bit more confluence that we're gonna hold higher. Let me skip towards Asia. So now I think we didn't reach into that daily. This is conditions I want to be trading in. So this is something I want to be buying towards, right? When you see this voided price action, this strong price action, this is where I want to be trading compared to AUD/USD, like compared to AUD/USD or compared to GU. Let me see if I can do this. This is a big ass resistance, right? Where is it? Even on the 4 hour, it's a big ass consolidation. Look here, nothing, void. This is what you want to be trading in, buying towards that instead of buying towards this. It does look like liquidity though, so I'm not sure still. Yet I'm not sure for now, but we're gonna see. Still something I'm trying to implement, so we gotta see here how we actually behave, because if we hold this lower, if we hold this gap, we are kind of in the process of inversion here. I would still be, that's what I wanted to say, still be would have been more down to buy here, because we're in bullish order flow overall, and we did switch bullish, and I do want to target this. This is where resistance steps in, so we can target that resistance, right? This is where after price reaches this area, we're gonna start, our idea gets invalidated. We don't want to be trading more than this. This is generally our area that we're looking to target here. 4 hour AVG with 4 hour AVG here, and what the only thing we're waiting for is a retest of this area and hold higher. This is good. The only thing that I don't like about this is that we're overextended. That's basically the only thing I don't like, and a very big reason why I'm not going to take this trade, because I do want to see a bigger pullback within equilibrium of this range. I feel like this is way too risky. Even if it works, it's just very risky to take. Maybe at most 0.5. Okay, so it ended up working apparently. This was a good setup, considering was I in a bad spot thinking that okay, this is risky to take? Probably not. But it ended up working pretty fucking well, like straight off the bat. So I'm not sure even about this. I would still say it's way smarter to wait for that equilibrium here, but we inverse the zone, so that's why it would have made sense to enter. But yeah, when now we're, oh shit, fuck, now we're probably gonna hold this towards the high, and then we're gonna fail. That could have been another trade as well here. This could have been, why am I not taking this though? This could have been another trade, a bit choppier, but definitely would have been a better trade. Relatively high resistance. Do we really, are we really scared of that? I wouldn't really say so. And draw towards this. Really good trade here, but missed straight off the bat. Consolidations like this lose a lot of relevance when they're getting mitigated. That's what I feel like maybe happened on AUD/USD as well. Yeah, it happened. I do remember it happened on AUD/USD as well, because we had that consolidation here, which got mitigated here, and then price held, and now it's breaking through because it already got mitigated and lost relevance. It lost the orders. I feel like this is what happened in this case. We see that the consolidation was mitigated, therefore all the sellers were retapped and they protected their orders here, and now the sellers are very likely out of their position and they just got ran through. But it's fine. We did miss a really good trade here. I mean, not really missed, because I did see it, but for me it looked risky. We're gonna see what we do in the next day. Oops, this is London still. Unless I would have seen like a 1 hour gap, I wouldn't be down to trade this. So yeah, it is what it is. It's a PM session set. I'm not gonna take it. Yeah, that's exactly why. Okay, we're holding bearish order flow. This is pretty interesting. So we end up holding bearish order flow from here. Do we have an area on the 4 hour? We did take buy side. I think this is a daily AVG, very likely. Yeah, daily AVG, and also this big ass inversion here. So it's interesting. But I think we're definitely gonna react of these equal lows. Yeah, come back higher. I don't want to see. Ooh, what was that? Why is the sound so strong? So let's consider, is this a good continuation to look for? I mean, good sell side. I wouldn't say this is the best like area to be trading off of. Slight resistance here, but we use that to retrace 1 hour AVG, 1 hour inverse retest, 1 hour inverse retest. So the edge is valid, but the question is, again, we're mitigating this consolidation, so we're clearing our way. This is a bit different, but I do want to see if I want to be shorting here. I do want to be shorting if we inverse that. We did inverse lunchtime, not really, but I do want to see kind of like a 1 minute confluence if we hold lower from here. but it's already getting late. It's already PM. This looks decent, like 1 minute entry from here, but yeah, we gotta wait for that New York. It looks decent. This looks a bit better, but still not fully what I would like for an entry. We also have this 5 minutes till not closed. I would say this is way better, but it's lunchtime, so I'm not gonna take it, but it does look good now. It does look good. Let's see if it plays out. And this is one very big reason why I don't trade lunchtime, and why I didn't take this trade, because it's very likely just a manipulation to still hold lower, or we just invalidate completely and we start going higher. That can also happen. And now we have the sell side here, which I really still think we're gonna hold higher. Let me move this to my second monitor. We just invalidated the idea why I kind of was expecting it to happen again, because of resistance. Like, this is why you should avoid trading a consolidation, even if they get mitigated. I feel like it doesn't matter. You don't want to be shorting. You want to short below the consolidation or buy from the consolidation. I feel like that's more accurate on how you want to treat consolidations or high resistance areas, however you want to call it. Because this, we had a textbook sell. We had buy sell liquidity into daily AVG. We had inverse to inverse, and we see that the setup still ended up failing. Why did it fail? Find the suspect. This consolidation here, or high resistance, however you want to call it. However you want to call it, high resistance, no matter what. And here it actually ended up mitigating it twice, and it still ended up not giving a shit. And also bias was bullish, so it's a matter of like more things that kind of align. Let's see, London, big initiation higher here. We're definitely gonna still continue bullish at this point. 4-hour AVG to, or another 4-hour AVG. Okay, but yeah, we're not looking to be trading this shit right here. We ain't looking to be trading in. Okay, let's see London open. Probably a 4-hour AVG to 1 hour here, but we're very close to the highs. I would still, okay, we took range high. Like, hell nah. Hell nah. We ain't looking to be trading here. Hell fucking nah. At the range high, this is again a case where you skip trades, because it's very likely for us to inverse, and if we don't, that's the more unlikely scenario to be playing. So let's see if we inverse or we don't. We're probably gonna hold higher towards New York and then maybe reverse, or we just hold higher. I guess still very risky for us to be looking to keep buying underneath range high, and especially after it got taken. So this is not something to be mad about. It's just a scenario that you should be skipping every time you see it. Now that we closed above, it's pretty clear signs that we're very likely on continuing higher. So now we can keep buying. 4-hour to 1 hour, again, decent setup. I wouldn't really consider it A plus. We did take the range high, which again makes it risky and makes the trading valid, because we took out drawn liquidity. Even if it works, we cannot really be trading that because it still took out drawn liquidity. Yeah, it did work pretty well here. I did like how this inversion right here look, but again, bearish gap, took drawn liquidity to previous daily high, so trade is invalid, sadly. We don't have drawn liquidity. That's what makes these trades kind of bad. This is again high resistance. I do like this to be keep buying here, but I'm waiting for Asia and waiting to see if we get that retracement. Boom, boom. This is 9. Okay, now it's 9, but we completely inverse. Guess what? Guess why did we inverse? Kind of flipped the range high. Big reason. So let me see. Still wouldn't call. So now I'm only hunting for a plus setup. No matter how many days I'm going without a setup, I don't really give a shit about that. My job right now, or what I'm trying to test, is trading only A plus setup. Let me also change my sessions, because sometimes the time changes. We have the time shift, so we gotta adapt our indicator as well. We have a nice retest here, and I do wanna, I'm curious, just, oh shit, this looks great. This looks pretty fucking great, but is this a setup worth taking? Let's consider. We always gonna monitor. 4-hour, nothing. I would say 4-hour we only have drawn liquidity. We don't have bias. Bias is not yet confirmed. We have no buy sell liquidity taken. We just have an inverse. That's our only Trade confluence is an inverse. That's why this trade is not worth taking. Even if it works, it's not worth taking. It's too risky. And look at that shit, bro. Filtering losers back to back to back. Now we might hold lower from here. I don't want to see, but we don't. Yeah, we don't. We just inverse and we continue higher. We reclaim that FVG. We're probably gonna retest this one, which we did here. But yeah, we're still not doing shit. I'm still waiting for my setup. No matter how much this takes, I want to adopt this mindset and keep it in me through all my live trading as well. So here, I still feel like we're gonna inverse soon. Yeah, it kind of look like it. Since it started failing here, it kind of look like it's gonna print bearish. We do have 1 hour to 1 hour, but I still would want to see this buy side getting swept, and I think it's very likely we're gonna see that shit happen. Here we do have this big ass wick, which is probably a deep rebalance on the lower time frames, which it is, but we still come into that. This is, yeah, still probably gonna hold towards the buy side liquidity sweep, or we don't. That can also happen. No, bro, why you leave, bro? This was a good retest here, good inversion, good area. No buy side liquidity, still very choppy setup. Probably gonna hold towards this 4 hour, or just hold towards this low, I guess. Or maybe now. This can be a good delay training Asia, but I feel like it's very wide, if that makes sense. Let's see off the buy side liquidity sweep before carry on bearish intention towards the next day. This looks like a good continuation here. I just want to test out this. I'm not gonna take it once again because I'm really wanting to backtest my real win rate and see how things are doing here. I'm just playing around and trying to see if my idea carries on. It's the same on trading demo trading. So here we would have been already at a 1.5. Let's see if we would have reached 2. That's what I'm curious about. It's a good reaction out of break even. And we would have held towards 2. But through Asia Open, that's really uncomfortable for me to do, to hold trades through Asia Open. Really uncomfortable. Not impossible, but still not a clean edge. Again, I'm only waiting for A plus setup. Even if the edge plays out, that shit was dog shit. This was just a limit test PM session. A lot of limit tests on this specific trade. This looks like a good gap to hold. Gap too, but yeah, very choppy. Still not gonna look to trade this because it just looks dog shit. And we completely fucking inversed, and really nice retest. Now we're gonna hold higher. This looks just straight off the bat intuitively. This for me looks like a good entry, but lunchtime, no real confluence for buys except 1 hour inverse, and yeah, it's again a very risky setup. But I'm still gonna play and let it see if it plays out. The New York reversal, the variation is failed swing with a really nice retest here. It's probably one of the trades that's gonna hold or not, depend. But yeah, timing is dog shit. But yeah, the entry just looked really good here, and we're very likely gonna hold, almost hitting that TP, but we just hit news, I guess. I'm curious if break even's gonna hold higher from here. It doesn't. It's crazy though. It would have been like a 3 point something. Trade looked good, model looked good, but very counter trade, and that's why we carry on in 10 lower. So this was a very risky trade to do, because what price did here is just make a Judah swing before some type of news. I don't know exactly what we had here, but it's a perfect example of a counter trend trade, and those being very low probability. So now we just filtered almost 1 month. We didn't have any trades, but keep in mind there's no reason to worry because this is only DXY. This is only DXY here, so no reason to worry about that, because I'm gonna have around 4 to 8 trades per month. I usually have. I don't want to see that retest, but we redraw, we just displace, which is fine, I guess. I had another 1 hour here and we just fucking melt. Now we start really initiating lower. See how consolidations always give price a bit of like struggle. It's an inverse. Where are we in a bullish perspective? I would still say we're gonna continue bearish here. Still gonna say that. Let's consider the range. We're still not in equilibrium prices. Why I say is because we didn't reach this consolidation. This is where I'm expecting bullish order flow to start holding. This area still looks very voided. I would still say we're holding bearish, but it does depend. I do want to see a 1 hour gap get confirmed here into this, but already looks like it's reacting, to be honest. This are gonna get swept now in New York Open. This is a pattern I see a lot of times. Or he's gonna hold the consolidation, but I very think it's gonna get swept, and now we're gonna reverse on New York Open. Let's see if I'm right or wrong. Oh my god, this is just a model I've seen a lot of times. What we're waiting for here is the 1 hour inversion. Okay, good inversion. I do want to see a retest, and I do want to see a proper like hold. Okay, that's good though. I am confident in this trade, even if it's a 1 minute 1 minute entry. Easy target is equal lows right here for near reversal or retracement near reversal. Depends how you want to call it. And next target is going to be Asian lows here. Let's just take it. I think this is a good setup. I'm going to place it now. I'm going to review if how is this trade. Well, it's very similar to what we actually have right now, and we see that price ended up reacting higher massively with those London lows. It's very similar to what we have here, right? We just very bearish, and we did have a 4 hour AVG here, which I waited for a 1 hour gap into. It's more like gold actually, what I was waiting for. Yeah, it's very more similar to gold. 4 hour AVG which we came into, and in that 4 hour I was waiting for a 1 hour gap. This is the exact thing I was wanting to see today on gold, except we didn't see it. And we did get the proper retest, so even if it's on the 1 minute, I'm probably gonna take it. In terms of resistance, let's look at price. I still see these as equal lows. It should be easy target. This again, easy target, not really a big consolidation. Yeah, this should be fine unless we just do a random sweep of liquidity. Partials, remember on the slow right here. I do want to see us still reach into that low. How much R do we have in this low right here? 2.2, so I'm probably gonna trim instantly when we reach it. I do want to see just slide more confluence, because I do want to see price giving signs before always closing my orders. I don't want to trim too early. I want to maximize as much as I can depending on how price behaves. Let's see if this is continuation behavior. We should be holding lower, so I'm also training my trade management here. Okay, let's see. Just looks like continuations right here. We just watch gaps if they hold or not. When it's gonna get invalidated, we're very considering closing. At this point, I'm very likely gonna trim. I just want to see how we behave to this red gap though. Okay. Okay, good choice. I do really consider okay, never mind. I want to say I'm gonna okay. Let's see if this gets inversed. We continue. Okay, now I'm gonna trim because I really feel like we're gonna start retracing. We're at 3%. Okay. We're gonna go break even obviously at this point. I just trimmed a bit early for no realistic reason because we had an incomplete close, but we still made a lot. 6 R. God damn. 6 R meaning a 5 R. Oh, we didn't trim that much, but see, bro, like an A+ setup makes such a big fucking difference. Like my A+ setup, and I proved it with my data. Looking at my data today, my A+ setups have 60% win rate at least, right? At least. Let's look, for example, at July. On July we only had 2, and I'm not considering the really high rated ones, which is this. So in July we had 3 really high quality trades, or 3 A+ setups, you can call it. I did of course miss a lot of them, but let me think about this. I don't fully remember this trade. Oh, I did close too early here. I didn't close too early. I mean, yeah, it was that manipulation that we had. So this, this is just unlucky. But we had 2 wins. So 2R with 2R, 4R minus 0.5. It would have been 3.5 for the July, even though I wasn't fully present and missed a lot. And this meaning a 60% win rate. We can clearly see. Let's look at June 2, June 20. Why is June 2 here? I'm not exactly sure why June 2 is here. We're not going to calculate the missed ones, even though I should. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think this was a win. So yeah, oh, this was the Yuki one that should have been taken. I think this was like a 2R. So 2R, 2R, minus 1, 3R, 2R, 5R, break even. 4R, this, and with this, which was a 5R, 9R. So again, 10% a month. So this is how my months are looking like. But yeah, I'm just gonna oh my fucking god, bro. And this was just being really confident in letting that trade run. In this move, I didn't initially get that scared because, and in this move as well, so there was two ways we could have gotten scared to execute. So backtesting is really good. I feel like it's gonna really train my really gonna be training my trade management as well. I'm gonna take a small break and I'm gonna be back because I don't want to keep journaling. I don't want to consistently keep taking trade like this. This was such a clean, bro. Like, I've seen this pattern. You remember, you see me backtesting this and I say, oh, you see this consolidation is gonna get manipulated, price manipulates, then I say it's gonna reverse. It ends up fucking reversing, it ends up retesting here, entry on the 1 minute, stop loss above the inverse target Asian lows. Fucking gone, voided, low resistance, exactly how we want to be trading. Where does high resistance start? Here. So what does that does mean? We have an easy way of delivering lower. But yeah, crazy fucking trade. Such a clean profile. We had internal liquidity. We had this is a fixed window reverse. So these are my A plus setups, and this is what I should trade every time, every single time I A plus setups. gonna be back in a couple of minutes. I want to put a text here. I'm gonna drink a coffee and talk with my mom. Back in 15, I would say. I still want to keep the stream going because I do really want to back this after this. So, still gonna keep it going. back. I'm gonna just go get some water, and I'm gonna keep back testing. Sorry for being. Oh my! I almost fell. Sorry for being AFK, but it is what it is. We're gonna recover. We're probably gonna back test for the next hour, 2 hours. We're gonna see. But this trade was insane. I need to journal this, and I'm gonna come back in 1 minute. So apparently, also considering the data I have, apparently my win rate is around 60%, and I do have um my base percentage at least minimum for a month is 10%. This is what I look through my data right now today on only A plus setups, on only setups like this, and it's 60% and 10% base percentage monthly. That's pretty good, I ain't gonna lie. I'm kinda happy. That I reached this place, and now I'm getting data. It's not like I'm dreaming or something, you know. It's I legitimately see it in from my data, from my journal, from the trades I was basically in. And you don't need more proof than that. When your data, when the last 3 months of price action or the trades I've actively been in show me that I have 10% every month. So I went over this previously again in Notion. I don't know what my Notion is. I did look at June, July, and filtered only by A plus setups, and my win rate is 60. And I do in June, I think I would have made 12% if only A plus setups. In May 9, and in April 12, yeah. And I didn't calculate my scalings, meaning my 1.5 risk, and I didn't calculate trades like this that I just caught at the backtesting. Right, trades that I make 5% on. I trimmed a bit too early here, should have made like 6.4, but it's still good. This is still definitely a setup I would trade, and keep in mind we waited how much time did we wait for this setup? We waited Monday 1 week, 2 weeks, 2 weeks for the setup. This is the hard truth. How the fuck do I say that shit? The hard truth of trading only A plus setup. There are gonna be way little trades than you normally take. I just went through 2 weeks of price action, and I had only one trade, but in this one trade I made 5%. Should have made 6, but this is it. You can just take a trade like this and be done for the month. You don't need a lot of trades. Surprise. You don't need a lot of trades. You can take one trade like this and be done for the fucking month. You don't need more. I want to see. Can I see how many? I cannot. I don't think I can see that shit. I wanted to see. Yeah, see? Well, actually, 1 month, apparently. I don't know why 1 month, but I want to see if I can, like, legitimately get a data that shows me how many days I waited for this. It doesn't really show me, does it? But it's already, like, you can be done. You take one trade per month, and you can be done. Because this trade is a very high quality trade, which gives you a big base percentage. Most people, this is 5% is a percentage most people stop at for the month. My data tells me that I can go for 10%, which is again fine, but yeah. This is all you need. You take one shit like this and be done. Don't ever look back. This is all you need. Take a shit like this, be done for the fucking month. That's it. You don't need more. You don't need more, but I will trade more, but you don't need more, right? You don't need more. This is all you gotta do. All it takes, like the hard part is being patient and waiting for that A plus setup. I always heard this about trades. Trade only A plus setup. They trade only A plus setup. This is how you turn profitable. But I never really fucking understood it. I underestimated it a lot. But we just talked about this today. This was the subject of today. Is that trading only A plus setups make you go from a break-even month to a 15% month. That's a drastic fucking difference. A drastic difference. It's not small. It's something drastic. And now I'm getting more and more and more and more proof that trading only A plus setups is actually how you turn profitable. And it's not the problem about patience anymore. It's not a problem about any of those things at this moment. It isn't a problem. Patience isn't a problem. I don't really have problems in terms of my trading right now. Of course I have small tweaks, but in terms of problem, not really. It's just about executing and staying patient, but I don't struggle with patience. At this point I don't struggle with patience, but it's just about staying patient and waiting for those A plus setup. And think about, we waited 2 weeks for one pair. I trade 6 or 7 pairs. I'm not even sure how many pairs I actually trade. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Wait, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 with DXY 8. So you can multiply this by 7. 2 weeks, 1 trade. 7 trades in 2 weeks, which what averages 1 to 3 trades per month, per week. My bad, chief. Which is exactly my edge. Oh my god, it feels good, bro. I'm excited for my future, bro, because it feels good. Because now, this is the last piece of the puzzle. This is the last piece of the puzzle on turning profitable, and it's the biggest piece that makes the most amount of difference in your trading, and that actually makes you go from break even to profitable. Trade selection. You always was this. It always was, right? So let's go over why did I take this trade, because I want to definitely journal. This is a very clean trade. I'm not sure, maybe I have it saved. No, this is 2020. Hell nah. And this price action felt so familiar, on God. At least lower time frame, but let's go over. Why did we look at shorts where we had this bearish FVG getting respected here? I think we also had a daily, or not, I'm tripping. But we did have this buy sell liquidity rate into inversion. This is very critical. This bearish gap here is very critical because it's around the high, which signals for me that we're going lower. Price action is voided. We do have gap to gap, or you can call this you can call this many ways, this model. You can also call it inverse to gap, because this is an inverse here. You can call it a lot of ways, but generally I think it's a gap to inverse. Gap to inverse, just looking to target high resistance. It's not a complicated trade. It's just an A plus trade. A plus trades should be really simple and really clear to see. Gap to gap, we close below that previous high, which made the idea really valid. Price action also was really voided on the lows or on the area we were targeting, since the confidence in letting the trade run a bit more. Let's go over hourly. And then what did we do to that 4 hour? We waited for a 1 hour inversion. This is this is textbook. Like, this is an A plus setup. Like, this is an A plus setup. And these are the trades I need to catch on consistently. Like, trades that you don't have any doubts in mind about, that you have really high conviction, and trades that you've seen happen over and over again. And this is exactly the setup I was talking, that I was waiting for gold to happen, which we didn't end up coming into that area, but it's exactly how I would have traded that gold. So here we just waited gap to inverse on the hourly. The hourly, really good inverse here. Perfect confluence to take price lower. Why did I open GBT? I don't know what the shortcut is. Alt space. Oh, okay, so alt space is the shortcut for GBT apparently. And also 50-minute inverse. So yeah, this is just textbook. Like, there's nothing much more to say about this trade rather than textbook. Internal liquidity, FVG that already got rebalanced, low resistance in these. This is a very small, this just intraday profile is extremely fucking textbook here. extremely textbook intraday profile, coupled with London high sweep. But what did I write? Into 50-minute inversion, also 1 hour inversion. This was a case where I took a 1 minute entry. Why? Because I feel like in cases like this, sometimes it's fine. I can't even answer why I took the entry on the 1 minute. It's just because sometimes I do this when 3-minute lags confluence. So it was a gap with an inversion. We didn't have a complete market structure shift, but it didn't really matter anyways. 6R, crazy. Remarks. Also gonna write about the remarks. Okay, really clean entry here. 6R. Remarks. What do I want to go over? I want to go over low resistance. This is the reason why we were confident in trading this lower. This is where resistance kind of starts. But this is why I liked the trade, because of this gap. So low resistance. I would also put like trade management. Bro, what did I don't know how to write, baby. But yeah, we just had some small reactions here. Overall, I was just looking at gaps holding. We did have technically this inverse, but I feel like in this case we always need, it's too early to close on an inverse, so closed a bit early here, but close is premature. Definitely is premature. We need to couple two 1 minute confluences to close the trade, especially so deep towards liquidity. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I just needed to wait for two confluences here to close. I would say potential R. I would say R, bro. 6.4. Sheesh. 6.5 R is crazy. I'm curious if we would have ended up running towards final, which is I think this. Overall, yeah, it did end up running towards final, so that shit is crazy. Ain't gonna lie, Gengi. 10R. Oh my fucking god. This is what a really high quality or an A plus setup looks like. This is crazy, bro. Like full TP, 80% here, led runner towards here. God damn. God damn, man. And look at this entry, bro. 10 pip stop loss. 10 pip fucking TP. Let's just go over this shit. Oh, I also want to save this in the journal just to put it there. So ended up 10.11 and it's not over yet, so I just wanted to save this out there. And yeah, we're gonna go to the wars the next day. DXY is clean, bro. I love fucking DXY. I ain't gonna lie, I love DXY. It's said that only on FTMO you can really trade with DXY, but yeah. At this point, let's consider what are we doing. We do have resistance, which makes an A plus setup very unlikely to happen, but we are reacting here. So now we want to see, this is actually pretty fucking similar to what we had today on AUDUSD. Let me go back. It's very similar. It's very similar actually. I will share my Notion template soon, bro. Just stay tuned on the channel. I will share my Notion template soon. It's very fucking similar. Look at this shit, bro. It's extremely similar. Oh my god. And that's why here it becomes invalid to short, because we're shorting into resistance. And that's why here we see reaction on price. We see that price struggles, which makes any fucking setup, resistance or consolidations, especially on the higher time frame, make any fucking setup struggle, no matter how high quality it is. So we're just gonna pay attention, but generally not looking to be trading here. It depends a lot upon the reaction that we get. If we get a 1 hour gap confirming price lower, we might be taking this, and buys I won't take. Like, see how a setup failed? You know why this setup failed? Because of this, bro. That's fucking it. Because of consolidations. If you're watching this, bro, please pay attention to consolidations and don't trade into consolidation, because this is what makes most of your setup fail. And this is why this setup failed. We tap high resistance, we tap consolidation, we instantly reverse and reject sellers of this. This happens all the time. It's just that you need to be aware of it. And this is what massively improved my win rate from a 30% to a 50 something, from a 33% to a 53%, and only trading A plus setups and only trading in low resistance. not this one. Where is my only trading in low resistance? Low resistance was here until we reach here we start being high resistance. What does that mean? Being selling or shorting or looking to short becomes extremely risky and becomes more prone to fail. So you know how to avoid these setups, right? You know how to avoid. That's actually what helps you a lot. And usually it doesn't have to be a trend switch. Like consolidations don't always cause a trend switch. A lot of times they can cause break-even manipulations, or they can cause stop loss manipulation. Price just coming into your stop loss, wicking you out, then working. Because this, I see this a lot of times here. These are buyers stuck here. These are hedge funds buying. We're on the 4 hour, keep in mind. These are hedge funds buying. They bought, they're in profit. Just think logically, okay? Where are they putting their stop loss here? Where are they buying, like here? What did happen? Price came into the break-even orders. What are these hedge funds or the people that are in the orders here? What are they gonna do? They're gonna protect their orders and keep buying to finish that take profit. This is why always or most of the times consolidation gives reaction like this, because their buyers here are protecting their orders and they're scaling in. So let's look at price right here and stop talking about stuff like this. We did have a 4, so we have definitely a valid area to be trading higher. We have area plus inverse, and now we're getting kind of 1 hour confirmation here. We do have a small gap that ended up holding, but and this is also low resistance. This is where you want to be buying towards, very low resistance liquidity, not something like this. Hell nah. So we can actually be buying here if we manage to be retraced towards this, which I don't really think is gonna happen, but it does depend because we already did retrace. Yeah, why is okay? My timing got what the fuck is this? Why 10:45? Whoa. What happened with my sessions? Okay, now it's fine. I have no idea what happened with them, but yeah. Boom, like this. Okay, so I don't know if we're probably just gonna reach into buy side at this point, just reach into that low resistance. See, again, really easy delivery. We see really easy price, didn't struggle whatsoever, massively went into low resistance. This is why always you want to be traded in low resistance scenario, because that's when price is gonna print clearly higher. That's when price is gonna have these easy time delivering, and those are the cases where you want to be trading. You don't want to be trading where price struggles like this or price struggles like this. You don't want to be caught. You don't want to be caught in something like this or in something like this. This is a demo I actually took, but I actually had, there was a potential London short here, but again, can you guess the reason why I didn't take it? Boom, look left. What is this? Consolidation. What does consolidation mean? High resistance. What does high resistance mean? A very high chance we see a reaction. We see buyers here protecting their orders. Look what happened. Imagine if you would have been in this trade. First of all, it's very fucking low quality because they struggle so much, but look what happened. This is exactly what I said before. Those consolidations either cause some type of manipulation or a trend switch. In this case, what did we do? We just came for the stop losses here of the London sellers. We manipulate, then we go lower. Oh my god, that makes so sense. You can actually predict when you're about to get manipulated, on where your trade has a high chance of not delivering lower. And that's exactly what happened here. This is just a demo, right? I just took the demo of the inversion after I saw these buyers getting trapped here. Still wouldn't be shorting against this. Still wouldn't be shorting. And this is a huge fucking difference. This rule that only trading low resistance and liquidity like this, targeting liquidity like this, makes such a huge fucking difference. Just try it for yourself and see how much difference it makes in win rate and on your setups actually working. Let's consider if we're valid on looking at still lower prices. I wonder if we tap this inversion here. We did tap, so we have area, we have buy side liquidity. Now all I'm waiting for is a trigger lower, which we did get, and now we can see over the retest, but I don't know, this setup doesn't necessarily inspire a lot of oh shit, this is actually fucking good. Let's consider again, do we want to be trading this? That's the question. Let's think if this is an A+ setup or it isn't. This is what you should always ask yourself, and that's at least what I'm doing, right? Buy side liquidity into 4 hour inverse. Buys is still bearish even regardless of this. That's why I'm also targeting here, because there's potential of reacting here. 1 hour, what do we have? Again, same idea, buy side liquidity into 4 hour AVG. Then we have an inverse, which is our trigger for looking at lower prices. Then on a lower time frame, what do we actually have? Really good order block here. Boom. Almost got manipulated, didn't really get manipulated. Now we have an inverse. Yeah, this is valid. We gotta be careful at this though, at that consolidation. Okay, I kind of, why did I knew that this trade is, oh, we just got wicked. I just kind of knew. I think this buy side was really risky. Should we try again? Maybe. I think we just got manipulated. Oh, no. Oh my god. We just got manipulated. That was intuitive play here, but this kind of fucking scared the shit out of me, bro. I ain't gonna lie, it scared the shit out of me. Yeah, entry was good. Just buy some liquidity here, and kind of my intuition was signaling at this, which I should have listened to intuition even in backtesting. What would have that done? Avoid us getting manipulated early on than here, but we still managed to enter and still secure the 2R. Let's see if it goes. It actually goes a bit more towards Asian lows. Was I wrong for targeting that? I don't think so. And also was new, so realistically I'm not sure if I would have taken this, but it's still a good setup, and we see our edge getting played out towards like a 5R. I mean, this wasn't, let's consider, was our targeting wrong, or where should have we targeted more like it? We kind of came for this low, we didn't take it. What did we react off? Oh my god, would you look at that fucking consolidations? Bruh, we could have actually targeted lower here, definitely. I would say these lows here, this should have been our target, which would have like milked again. Okay, we have another New York reversal here. This is a clean setup. I love New York reversals. So we're gonna journal it again. For now, our win rate is probably 66, I think. 66%. We made a 5%, 2%, and we lost this, so we're around like 6% on the account. We had almost back-to-back trades. We had one trade here. We took that massive short lower. The same fucking setup. Look at this shit. The same fucking setup. I deleted the order, but I took a short here. Boom. I think something like this with like a 10 pip stop loss. Boom, and we look to target this. I mean, I look to target Asian lows actually. Same fucking setup. Same setup. New York reversal. What is common in this setup? London and New York and London retrace. Oh, I wonder one thing here. Oh, we did have that hourly. So bro, like this is like, these are both identical setups traded off the same fucking POI. The same fucking POI, which was this 4 hour here. Let me see. Yeah, it was actually, I looked at this inverse, but it was this 4 hour. Same fucking setup of the same POI, the same fucking confluence, same fucking setup of the same POI. It's crazy, and we ended up taking the second trade after we manipulate this high right here. Okay, search case. Okay, search case. We turning profitable, bro. We actually doing this shit, bro. We actually turning profitable. It's crazy, gangy. I'm actually turning profitable by only trading A+ setups. That's crazy. Now I'm seeing it unfold like in front of me. So March 27 to 20. This was 31 March 31 to 20. I do want to also check economical calendar because it's extremely important to be checking that every. The fuck do you mean game clip recorded? March 27 to 20. Can you work? Thank you very much, sir. Let's see what news we had. So in 27 here in 27, President Trump. Fuck President Trump, bro. Make America great again. 27 March 20. Is this 2020 or is 25? Okay. And then we had the next trade in 31. I don't want. This was definitely some sort of news here. Fed announcement. CB. So we had 3:30 and 5. What time did we take this entry right here? Let's see. Oh yeah, we had consumer, this bullshit consumer confidence. Okay, so let's just journal this shit. A bit of a choppier trade, but it was just why did it happen like this? Because of news. Nothing really much, but same fucking setup, same hourly inversion, just same. Everything was the same of the even of the same fucking POI, and that consolidation here only caused a reaction higher to manipulate. Remember, do you guys remember what I said? Consolidations always be during those reactions higher to manipulate. That short in London got perfectly manipulated off here. Off here, my bad. We tapped into it, reacted. What reaction did it cause? Manipulating London sellers, and then going into the direction. What did it do here? What did it cause here? Manipulating this high here, where a lot of people had their stop loss. We manipulate the high, we keep continuing lower. Yeah. Same fucking pattern, the same setups. It's crazy that the same setup was taken off the same area. It's kind of crazy. Same area. Same area as the trade before. Funny enough. We had this hourly inversion that we had. Oh, and we had also 1 hour gap. It's not a big gap, but doesn't really matter. 1 hour inversion. This is low resistance. This is just trendline liquidity. But our target wasn't the greatest, I would say. What was overall target? I think this consolidation here. I do like a 2 hour. I wonder, did we get caught in that move here? Context, New York reverse. Fucking context. Same context as before. Potential R2. I mean, we took 2. Potential R was like 5. 4.3. I also want to put this out there because this was a dog. I mean, not necessarily like that dog shit. It just manipulation happened here. I should have been aware of this because it was clear buy side. But next time we're gonna do that shit. I should have listened to intuition here. But still, we ended up rescaling in after stop loss got hit and still ended up winning. So still doing good until now. Until now, we have 60% win rate on these A+ setups that I'm taking. At this point, remember what I said before, is a very high chance we keep reacting of this. And that's kind of what we're doing, and we built a 1 hour gap, which is decent. This is a case, very important, guys. If you're here, pay attention to this because this is useful information. When we have this pattern like this, like a high takes the high to the left like this, and we keep giving signs and we still want to buy, what we're targeting is this level, not this, because price a lot of times ends up reacting of this level to the right. Just try it for yourself. I think it's actually gonna react of this. If it were to me to be guess or predict, I would actually say it's gonna react of this. Apparently it doesn't, but yeah, we're still waiting for that. So I wouldn't really want to be buying here. I'm still waiting on that. We do have hourly AVG, which technically we can use to buy, but this is not even close to an A+ setup for me. Not even close. Too overextended. We end up still working, and look at that level. Let's see if we carry bearish intention from here, just to test out my kind of experience. We do carry a bit of bearish intention, and look, bro, I just said this before it happened. You saw me do this, and this is not luck. I seen this shit happen so many times. And you see we carry bearish intent, and we could have even shorted here. This was a good inversion, but this information just helps to know targeting, because imagine, right? Imagine you were in a buy here in London. If you're not aware about this information, what are you targeting? This high. Wow, what ends up happening? Price reverses before your TP. So with this information, you can actually have a proper take profit and avoid getting reversed on. This is why this information is useful. Now we look like we still carry on. We did mitigate the AVG that I was waiting for. Later in the day, I would still refine it here, but I don't like here. I think we're gonna build bearish intention actually. Okay, now we wake that shit. I wouldn't want to be buying into that 4 hours. So here's definitely where yeah, I would not be buying this. Looks like a good failed swing higher. I'm just gonna place this here just for educational purposes. I'm not gonna enter the buy because this is far from an A+ setup for me, but just to kind of test out bias. Okay, we end up coming there. Okay, we're probably gonna hold. Yeah. Oh shit. Oh shit. Yeah, so he again, just nothing really needed to be said here. I just didn't like that there was a very high chance we still hold version 10 of the 4 hours, so I would still wait to see it get inverse before trying to trade here. Oops, this is a bit better to be looking at buys here, because we inverse that 4 hour, we had gap 2, gap plus inversion. We can look to be targeting higher. Even though we have this 4 hour on the hourly, we look, it's pretty dog shit. It's like a small consolidation. I would say we're gonna hunt for this New York high here, which also makes that hourly gap in London here targetable. This is again low resistance. This is why it's good to be trading here, because low resistance, no real struggles, even if it is a 4 hour AVG. This can be a trade, definitely. Good evening, bro, how are you? This can be a trade, definitely, but I'm not gonna take it. Again, it's too overextended, but it's very likely gonna work. It's timing, which is when volatility dies down, and we see that we were not able to reach that. We're probably still gonna hold higher, but yeah, man, chilling. Just really now I'm in a good spot because yeah. Apparently I realized today that if I trade only A+ setups, I'm gonna turn profitable. That's pretty much it, and that's what I'm backtesting right now. And you see how many trades there were here. This was too overextended, timing very bad, ended up working. The same with this trade here. I didn't really like buying into resistance, which I talked about, but 2 biases again predicted correct and 2 potential trades. That doesn't mean I should take them. It means that those trades are something would be avoided. Let's see, do we carry on in 10 from here? That's what I would be interested in. We're still bullish. Wouldn't be shorting unless we get very solid confluence. So here I'm just gonna wait. Boom, we got in very late. It's already New York close, so definitely not gonna be trading here. At this point, we're just waiting for continuations higher. If we do continue, but we're building high resistance here. We'll definitely be building high resistance. So when this is formed, what I want to do is not buy towards it, sell from it like a true order block, like trading an order block. Oof, this looks good, but I still want to see that retracement. Okay, this gaps also look good here. So we have like buy side liquidity getting taken. I mean, kind of recent buy side liquidity into this order block. Are we in premium prices? We are in premium prices, which is good. We have the 4 hour inversion. We have a relative clear target. We cannot target lower than this because this is where high resistance is starting to be present. Our idea is basically towards this this half filled gap. What broker am I using? I'm just using prop firm, bro. This is backtesting, and I'm just using prop firm. Yeah, funded next. I'm using for my prop firms. Did you trade today, bro? Do you take any trades? It's already lunchtime. It's looking extremely good once again, but it's lunchtime. I ain't gonna trade because that's very inconsistent to be traded in lunchtime. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but it's just a risky play to be making, and this is almost exactly why. Apparently our stop, oh shit, our stop loss was very well protected intuitively. I didn't even think about it, but it was above this FVG here. Let's see if you hold. Okay, it ended up holding, but this is the exact reason why trading lunchtime is risky. It's one thing that you should never really do unless there is a really good setup that you must be really confident in, but most of the times it's not worth it. And we see as soon as this is usually lunchtime, I mean not usually, this is always lunchtime. Is this forex or future? It's DXY, bro. DXY I think is an index. I'm not even sure how it's called. What it is, a cash index? I'm pretty sure it's an index or measure. Yeah, it's basically the opposite of Euro USD. The opposite of Euro USD, almost like a forex pair, but not really. And this is let's get back to over what I was saying. This is why you don't want to be trading lunchtime ever, because of this. Even the entry textbook, right? We mitigated that hourly AVG that I was looking to trade off of. We had really clear target, really low resistance, low here that we're very likely gonna take. Entry textbook, everything textbook about a trade. One thing was missing, timing, and that bullshit ass fucking timing ended up causing this. I want to place a bet here. Do you guys think you would have gotten stopped out here or not? I'm just gonna say you would have. Very likely you would have because of spread. Also, oh shit, this was a really good fucking entry here. Really good entry. This would have been doable because it was exactly on New York Open and we could have targeted the low. And this was another good trade. That this one I should have taken, but I just wasn't paying attention enough. But hell yeah, this trade was clean as fucking high Gengi, low resistance, low, just yeah, really nice. And now just continue, bro. What are we doing? We're in the limbo state. This is the limbo state. This is a state where you should not really be trading a lot of times. What is the, I mean, not really limbo state, to be honest, because we have bullish range into bullish range, and now we're reaching equilibrium prices, so we should be more likely to be buying actually here. Let's wait for next day open. We should actually be buying here, but it's always potential to hold lower because we're just in the limbo state where we have a bullish range and a bearish range. High resistance, can we trade towards this? We can trade towards it, but we cannot trade in it. And it got mitigated here. I would still consider we're going lower depending upon how we behave to this FVG. It becomes a really pivotal, yeah, really pivotal spot. I think this is gonna get printed through because it's very voided. But unless we get like a 1 hour gap, this is not valid, or a 1 hour inversion. This is looking like it's inverting, but it's like a dog shit fucking setup. Yeah, dog shit setup, more like inspection, to be honest. Still weird limbo state. We don't really want to be trading here. We just want to be patient and wait for price to break out or do some shit. Still holding, still get an hourly gap, but still not a good setup. As I said, what I'm backtesting is now is A+ setups only, but this look like it's gonna hold over indeed. Maybe we hold throughout now. Yeah, it's a good reaction lower, but I do want to see that retracement, which we're kind of not likely to get considering this here. But this was nice. I don't usually take trades like this. I do want to see a retest most of the times, but this was a nice potential trade to be targeting this low. 5R, easy fucking money, bro. Like, yeah, but wouldn't have traded this. Now what is probably gonna happen is this consolidation is cause a reaction to retrace. Kind of expecting that to happen. We did already retrace in London Open extremely aggressively here. Now we have again a really low resistance low. I'll see this not really, we're reaching high resistance actually, so we're probably gonna get that. Oh shit, we get that retracement exactly into the hourly FVG. Let's refine and make sure it's right. Okay, it's right, but it's very likely gonna hold this, or it's gonna manipulate and come back to the supply here now, and now it's gonna hold the supply formed around here if this gets inversed. If not, we're probably gonna come back to manipulate the lows, the highs, my bad. This does look somewhat good for souls. Again, it's gonna be kind of like a documentary. These are just limit tests. I'm not gonna, there are trades that I would not take. I would just want to see if I'm right on being bearish here. Extremely late, but we might be okay. Yeah, see, sometimes, and you know why it failed. High resistance. Can you guess what direction do we want to look at here? Well, I'm gonna give you a hint. It's definitely buys until here. High resistance, but yeah, high resistance again. Still it's more likely for us to be buying here. That's what I'm gonna look at buys here. 4 hour FVG, 4 hour liquidity swept. No, 4 hour inverse with 4 hour liquidity swept. Now we have a 1 hour trigger, which can you guess what this does? It validates our trade idea to be looking at those juicy fucking buys, Gengi. Relative high resistance here though, and this is also pretty high resistance. I don't know if I want to be taking this. Okay. Okay, Gengi, what the fuck is that, bruh? Why you doing all of that? Let's see, I'm curious. I'm just curious here if it's holding. Yeah, it is. Let's see. Let's just keep on going because I do want to see data right now. This is, again, we don't want to be doing this shit. We don't want to be shorting here. High resistance, even if it works. High resistance already. To be honest, kind of got mitigated here, which might have made this trade be invalid. But again, lunchtime setup apparently. Oops, again missed another setup there. No real trades here. We gotta wait for some type of structure. Okay, this is not really structure. Let's see, let's test out in real time is this consolidation gonna cause any trouble? I would say yes. Oh my god, bro. You're cheating, man. You have wall hacks. You have wall hackers. I wouldn't really be looking at those though. I mean, it's not valid, but it's definitely carrying on. I need to think about, do I consider these type of areas, consolidations, as a valid trade areas? Probably yes. It was really late. It was PM. I don't want to be trading PM session bullshit, man. But it did end up working, at least temporary. I don't want to see if now. Okay, wait. Back inverse. Are we bullish? Again, we're trading in high resistance, which means we're very likely gonna get some resistance on those wires, which we did throughout London. Imagine buying here. Bro, this makes so much fucking sense. This consolidation is really open my third eye and shit. Imagine would have been doing this, get fucking wicked, and price goes into TP because you're trading in high resistance. And see how patient I am. We didn't have a setup for a long time now. Still being patient. This is what trading A plus setups looks like. Being extremely patient. 1 hour hold your 2. Okay, this looks pretty good. And we do be kind of breaking above, but this is again a really high resistance area. Which doesn't make me really confident in trading, but we're kind of above. This is when I get kind of validated to be looking, okay, this looks good, but I cannot trade in lunchtime once again. I don't want to see the sweep here, and I don't want to see if this holds higher. We do have this inversion. This is just gonna hold lower by the looks of it. Oh shit, that was such a good retest on New York Open. This is again a New York reversal. This is an interesting pattern. This is a New York reversal, no London raid. Usually I look for London highs to get taken when trading the setups. In this case, we didn't get a London raid, we just massively inversed. And yeah, valid trade, hell nah, wouldn't really call it, but we did have an hourly inversion. Let's see. Yeah, we didn't have area. We did have area where we traded, where we took the 2 trades we had, the two New York reversals. We took them here. We end up holding the same reaction. We could have had 3 trades of the same area. It's crazy. But yeah, would I consider this a valid area? I'm not sure, but there could have been a crazy fucking trade here. That's all I know right here. Crazy entry, stop loss above the high, target probably Asian lows or this. I don't know what the zone exactly is, but it definitely is high resistance. So that was it. That was it, ganger. Let's think about price. Now I'm interested in seeing lower price carry on towards this. This can be a good potential trade, good potential bias, more like it. And we do have that inversion, and we do have the bearish gap here. So we have area. Don't really have buy sell liquidity though, but we do have this level, which I would already consider buy sell liquidity taken because of this level. Area, buy sell liquidity into area, into inverse gap, looking to target slow, resistance low, low resistance low. This can be troublesome. Let me see on the lower time frames. Yeah, this can definitely be a bit troublesome, but it's kind of avoided. So I'm just gonna watch this. Oh, I forgot to skip towards Asia. Boom, 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 boom. So let's think. Is this trade valid to take right now? No, we need. I mean, wait. It actually is to be trading valid, but I wouldn't really look at risk entries here. Let's wait for oh shit. Let's wait for London. Okay, we massively inverse apparently. But now even better, because now we have our confluence. We ended up coming into this premium inversion. Pretty good entry here in London, but I do want to see that retest. Oof. Now the question is this entry good? That's the question. Is this something you would oh shit, hell nah, bruh. I ain't trading into this shit right here. Hell nah. It's gonna work until then, and it's gonna very likely react. Oh my god. Bro, you're him, bro. Like, I can't stop being him. This is actually funny. I can't stop being him. I'm gonna go take a break. It's just funny to me. Okay, this looks good now to reclaim and hold lower. Now after we did cause that reaction. Oh my god, bro, I cannot stop, bro. Please someone stop me. Stop me from being him. But we do see how resistance, bro. Again, every single fucking trade I went over in this backtest and everything I said about is proven in real time. So if you're here right now, or if you see this video after the stream is over, please go back and pay attention to what I'm actually saying, because this shit can be life changing. I ain't gonna lie. Avoiding to trade in low and high resistance is life changing, and expecting and knowing that even the most A plus setup is gonna fail if it's done in high resistance, in consolidations. These low, most people say, yeah, it's easy liquidity, I'm targeting that shit, easy liquidity. But what price ends up doing is not take that fucking low and react of the middle of the consolidation and fucking switch trend or manipulate. Bro, this is life changing. Please pay attention to high resistance scenarios. But this slowly ended up carrying on. Not, definitely not a trade I would take. This geo trade is doing pretty good, so I'm gonna go smoke and I'm gonna let this marinate. What am I actually targeting? I don't even know what I'm targeting, but we're gonna let it exist. Life changing, bro. Pay attention to consolidations. One thing, pay attention to consolidations. Second, trade only A plus setups. Trade only A plus setup. Only. But to be able to trade only A plus setups, you need to have your intuition developed enough to be able to differentiate between an A plus setup and a B setup. That's the only kind of requirement. This was definitely not an A plus setup though. This Geo trade, because of big ass resistance. That big ass resistance manipulated London sellers, and then we only short. I wanted to, but it kind of was valid because we did have this small ABG here that we ended up reacting off, but yeah, very choppy, very goofy trade, very goofy. Not something I will be trading. Oh, before I go, I also want to kind of check my. Oh, I think we only have 3 trades. It's not a lot of data, but I do want to check that shit. 66%. Oh my god, I can't stop being him. Meanwhile, only 3 trades taken. I can't stop, man. Please, someone stop me. Stop me. Oh shit. Clean equity curve, bro. But where is my win? I had going from here. I had 1 win. Then I don't know why this why it's like this, but yeah, 6% on the March. Cause I had 2 trades. Oh, and why is that visible? If I had 2 trades in the same day, why is this even visible? But whatever. 66% win rate, still go with it. But yeah, we're gonna see. I'm so down. I'm excited, bro. Can't stop being him. That's so funny. It stayed like in my head. Let's see if we can keep this win rate consistent. That's what I want to see. I want to back this like at least 1 year today. We're probably in April, so I would do at least summer, I would say. But summer requires even more discretion on A plus setup because it's usually when we trade in really high resistance setups. So ugly price action. I'm waiting for price to break either side. We did now manipulate this high, so now looking for souls becomes way better. So let's see if we don't have an inversion. Sadly, well, price action was slow here, and we don't have an inversion to be validating these souls. But I do want to see if lower time frame carries on bearishness. And I just, again, I'm always doing this. I don't have to take them because that now I really want data on my trades, but I'm just gonna like test out what I think is gonna happen and see. Most of the times I'm wrong. So yeah, let's see what we do next. Still choppy, still just waiting for some sort of break, some sort of like direction or some sort of structure here. So a very big part of profitability comes from knowing when to sit on the bench. That's what I realized with time. Okay. Definitely not trading into this shit right here. It's very likely we see version 10 hold. Oh my god, bro, I can't stop being him. I can't stop every single second. Let's see if we carry on version 10. Is this valid in terms of trade? 4-hour AVG, big ass fucking consolidation. We do have this. Timing, not great. News, let's see. 23 April. Fuck off, man. 23 April. We already backtested so much. 23. Oh shit. Unemployment claims 330. Oh, but they already happened. Yeah. Just inversion, apparently. But I still do believe it's gonna hold bearish. Am I tripping? Okay, we're maybe just gonna manipulate it. I don't want to be buying here. Oh shit, we didn't manipulate it. We still ended up reacting of it. But by liquidity into 1 hour inversion, we lack. I don't like this shit right here. I don't like that we have it present, and the profile, the intraday profile is not looking very good. The intraday profile is kind of shit. It's like not really shit. It's like power of 3. You should getting rated here, and then we hold lower. But I do want to see that. Oh shit, this was good, but we didn't get the retest I wanted. Probably still gonna get it, but we're gonna get it like late PM session, or yeah, and the agents just very likely just gonna displace lower here. And that's exactly what it did of this hourly. Timing, not yet. No. So high resistance again. We need to skip. It just becomes a non-negotiable at this point. It just become a non-negotiable because it's way too risky to be trading in conditions like this. That's why I traded more pairs. Oh my god, bro. Like, this is crazy, bro. How many times you avoiding to trade into consolidations saves losing setups? It's fucking unreal how many times it does that shit. Because we had sellers. First, where did sellers step in? Where we could have taken this trade? Here, on London. Okay, we would have taken this, but we wouldn't have reached to, let's say, 2R. Then okay, let's short again. The trade is still valid even in New York. Once was valid in London, once was valid in New York. Oh my god, still fucking fails. Why? High resistance. Just avoid trading that shit, bro, and it's gonna change your fucking life. Just trust me on this one, because for me it's looking like it's gonna change it really fucking soon. I ain't gonna lie. Now it's too late to be trading. So when I see 1 hour gap hold higher from here. Okay, we don't. Now after we cause that reaction, I feel like now we can actually look to be targeting the sell side. Still a bit riskier because still in high resistance scenarios, but once it got kind of cleared, once we see that reaction, it loses a lot of relevance. Therefore it makes this trade a bit more valid, and we didn't end up retracing, which is fine, but we did end up being right on reaching lower to take these lows, which is at the end of the day kind of everything that matters. Even if there's a setup or not, that's everything that really matters at the end of the day. We're just gonna skip once again. I see how many setups I don't have. If conditions are like this, you need to adapt and you need to filter. You need to adapt and filter. Again, we are, can this be considered high resistance? Already got mitigated on that, so I would say that this is our troll. Low resistance voided, should be easy drawn lower there. And what do we have? What do we have? Why did I sound Indian? One second. Okay, I feel like I've seen this price action before. Okay, we don't care. Again, we're failing off high resistance and of that sell side sweep, which makes sense. It doesn't mean we're just gonna obliterately fail, but I can even be looking at this shit right here. Oh shit, this was already the entry. Yeah, we already missed that shit, but we already missed it by having this inversion here. Can we trade it here? Yes. A second leg setup, but I don't like this. I don't like that consolidation. I feel like we're gonna react of it. This is again a really time where most of my setups fail is on this consolidation like this. Oh my, but I can't stop. I can't stop. Please, someone stop me, please. I can't stop. Someone stop me. But this still wasn't valid. Just really goofy as fuck. Sometimes even lower time frame consolidations end up being the reason why your trade is failing. No. Crazy how the market is working. Wait. I'll do like this setup right here. Low resistance. We should be targeting the fill of that. Oh, it's only, we kind of have bad R, but we can target easily the fill of the gap. So this is a bit weird. It's a bit weird targeting. One 3-minute inversion here. I will kind of waited for a 1-minute entry. It's a bit of a weirder entry, and even the model it's a bit weirder. But and it does, we did take its lows, which makes it riskier. But I don't know. Let's consider: is this trade skip? Should this trade be skipped or should this trade be taken? I think it's higher time frame. I'm confident that we're reaching back into this. I'm confident in reaching there. What profile? 4-hour gap to 1-hour inversion. Right here, 4-hour gap to 1 hour to 1 hour. But what I don't like about this is the lows. The lows got taken. Entry is good. I do like it, so I'm just gonna take it and try and improve off it, even though it's riskier. Maybe I shouldn't have take it, but let's just try. Okay. Yeah. I think that answers the question. I want to see if I can get out of break even, maybe. Kind of like I would be down to get out of break even if we get the opportunity. Or are we holding this shit? Entry was not great. I feel like this trade should have very likely should be skipped. But only thing I'm gonna wait and see is if we hold. If we hold that gap. If we don't, at this point, I'm probably gonna go break even. This, oh shit, and it's all break even. That's fine because I think the trade is lower quality. Yeah. Oh my god, I can't stop being him, bro. This was just a trade that should have been skipped in the first place, but it adds to win rate. Because trade was fine. The only reason what it made it worth skipping is these lows that they got taken. Previous daily low got taken, and it's just too risky, too short, like so close to the lows. Now maybe it's gonna continue. Yeah, after he got manipulated. And we also had news apparently this day. So yeah, this was just too risky to be taken. Oh fuck. Reacting. We did end up having draw properly, and we did end up drawing towards the low, but the setup was just too risky to be taken because of, I think this was almost CPI. I think it's an FP. Let's see, we do hold the gap lower. I don't like that we didn't raid the SPY side, but considering how solid our drawn liquidity is, should be fine without coming towards that buy side. Good inversion, but once again, can you guess why I'm not gonna take this trade? It's because it's lunchtime. It's not New York Open yet, and see exactly why it ended up causing a manipulation here. All I'm gonna do is wait for New York Open to support price lower. If it does, I'm gonna enter. I wouldn't really, I mean, can be considered valid, but I don't really like, I mean, yeah, I probably should have been in this at this point. Let's see, maybe we get lucky and we get another confluence here on the inversion lower. Okay, what the fuck are we doing? What the fuck are we doing, man? I don't know if I would be taking this. This is a iffy entry. Exactly. I can't stop, bro. I can't stop being him. Oh shit, now we're taking it. Now we're taking it. But I do want to, fuck. I wanted to say I do want to see that 3-minute gap close. What I'm going to do is wait for a small 1-minute confluence here on closing below. And that's my execution right there. That's my execution. Oh shit, man. Oh shit, man. I missed it. I should have taken this on the 3-minute here. Fuck. fuck. I'm angry that I missed this. But it is what it is. I should have taken that 3-minute entry, not on the 1-minute. Or at least I should have marketed on the 1-minute. And after we take that low, of course, we reacted higher. Fuck, I'm angry that I missed that, but it is what it is. Sell side sweep, do we have area? We do, relatively. 4-hour inverse with 4-hour AVG right here. Let's think in terms of resistance. I wouldn't say I like trading here. End up printing, but no, hell nah, man. Hell nah, man. Okay. We want to be buying here, kinda. This is low. Okay, did it take this high? This generally should be low resistance. But I think in terms of sell side rate into 4-hour inverse, which already got mitigated here on this. Then we have a 1-hour gap to sustain price higher on London news, and we can probably easily take this high, I would say. Good London continuation, but in this case, I want to see a sell side equity rate. Good, we did rate the sell side. I want to see a more stronger break higher if possible, and this is gonna serve as a good inversion. If we hold it, we're gonna break lower. If we don't and we inverse, we're gonna break higher. Yeah, we're holding lower. Okay, this is a bit weird. We had a very deep pullback, which is fine, but yeah, our trade is missed. The idea probably will still play out towards that size. Yup. The idea ended up playing out, but we couldn't have really traded it. Boom, 1-hour gap. Again, we're just looking to follow where the flow. Question is low resistance, high resistance. Weird to determine. I would say probably from here is where high resistance is starting. So again, the same model. We still have a London continuation here, the same we did yesterday. So the same things apply. I do want to see a sell side liquidity rate on these London continuations most of the time. Good entry. Bro, why do I feel like I've seen this again? Why do I feel like I've seen this price action? Taking that shit to the high. I want to see if we hold from that. Not great. Let's see if we can maybe close our trader. Okay. Apparently still holding. Okay. That's bad. Where is it? And on this gap here, I'm gonna close. We don't get the opportunity, sadly. High resistance. Was it high resistance? It was, because it was high. End up manipulating and then going annoying. Should have knew about this. And look at this invert. Man, maybe not necessarily knew about this, but should have re-entered. That would have kept our win rate in check. We should have re-entered. And we just reversed on silver bullet. Entry was bad, not really. Still a good entry. Still good entry. We just didn't mitigate this RMC. Yeah, maybe it was like an RMC instead of a landing continuation. We did get the sell. We didn't have the sell side raid. I think that was. Oh shit! Fuck! I just broke one of my rules without realizing. I did say I want to see a sell side raid. This I wouldn't really consider sell side. Sell side. What I consider sell side is a place where people place their stop losses. Meaning a place where we initiate a bullish intent, then hold that bullish intent and come back and manipulate. It's exactly what we got trapped in. We got trapped into liquidity here. I did like this should be a rule for my will be a rule from now on. We need to see some sort of sell side raid and proper sell side raid. This is not a sell side raid. This is a sell side raid. And we got stopped out, then we would have re-entered easily here, but I just skipped. I got hurried. First of all, trade could have been avoided. Second of all, we could have scaled in and still recover. And the idea ended up still playing out really well, and I still think it's gonna hold bullish. We do, but now it's becomes riskier to be buying on this highs. Yep. What the fuck are we doing here? Okay. Kinda expected that shit, but too late now. Gotta wait for the next day. I'm kinda angry at myself because I should have skipped that shit, but I got distracted by intuition, to be honest. I really got distracted, but yeah. This is why you can trade off intuition alone. Because intuition might see something, but yeah, if you have a bit of structure around your trades, you cannot really do that shit. I mean, this would have easily been avoided. Win rate still 60, still, but not a lot of trades. 60, not a lot of trades. This would have been probably like 70 something. It would have been 70 something if instead of that, where's that trade? Instead of here where I bought, I would have waited for that liquidity rate. It would have been 70, but it's alright. I know that it is 70. Best way I would have performed, it would have been 70. For our VG, I want to see what hourly gap here. Oh shit, we have the CPI. Not, what is this? 8. Let's go back. 8 to 30. What is this? Oh, this is May, bro. My bad. My bad. NFP. Okay. Okay. This is a very strong low we built here. And we still have this, which makes it a reason not to take that shit. Now we inverse. But I still don't like. Still big ass fucking gap there. Even if we go, we don't have to be in every trade possible. Boom. Inversion. Buy some liquidity rate into inversion. Let's consider this trade. Did we tap that 4-hour VG? We didn't really tap it, so we only have buy some liquidity into hourly inversion. But we do have this, which is pretty strong, that inversion. I would actually say that this is strong. Wait, let me see. I would probably choose this or random lows at most. High resistance, we cannot be trading this actively. We cannot be because of high resistance, and we already reached it anyways. We do be drawing towards the low, which I kind of anticipated, but the low did look pretty strong. Entry possible here, but just too risky, too misaligned. Boom, boom. Let's see if we carry on in 10 towards the next day. We have probably a 4-hour FVG, which is good. I want to see in 10 carry on. This is slightly high resistance. It's a very strong low. So technically we cannot be trading this shit. But now we get that inversion late, very late. Okay, we have CPI, definitely CPI behavior. This is why, oh my god, like this level. Price action has been not easy to trade in this period, but we're doing fine. Maintaining a 60% win rate on the conditions like this is pretty good, I would say. Hourly gap still not gonna look to be trading that shit so close to the highs. I don't like it. But we do have a 4 hour to a 1 hour here looking to be trading off these highs, I would say. With 1 hour gap here to continue trend, but I would still like to see a bit more manipulation. And see, that's why we fell, because we're so close to the highs. So will not take it, but it's interesting to see. We did form kind of like a range here, which we're kind of likely to be holding. Okay, just gonna be again a demonstration or me testing my skills. I'm not gonna take this because we took this, which makes it extremely risky. But I'm just gonna try and see if we do hold. We don't. Can't stop, bro. I can't stop being in, bro. For me, I want to see hourly gap lower. Otherwise, hell nah, I ain't trading this. But what are these? What is this price action in this period? Is this May? It is May. Dog shit, bruh. 4 hour, now it's a bit better for us to be looking at buys because we had proper mitigation. This way, now we need to wait for this to get inversed. If it does, we pretty much, at least on recent highs, we have an easy time to deliver, but it does depend on the inversion. So the one is, if this is pretty bearish, this is pretty bearish, unless it gets rejected. It did get rejected. Looks like a filler trend in Asia, and here we waiting for that 1 minute entry, which got rejected. Again, got rejected. Now it's the time, man. Here, this valid bullshit setup, a lot of resistance. So hell nah, it's kind of bullshit setup. You do have sell side raid into 4 hour AVG into hourly gap. Question is resistance. Not really a lot of resistance. I can't really say there's a lot of resistance, but when you look on the 3 minute, this is resistance, but I would actually call it more like trendline liquidity. But yeah, I'm just gonna let it play. Stop loss is not safe, definitely not safe here, but I didn't enter it again. It looks weird for me. I do want to see. Okay, now we end up now we end up displacing these highs. This is bad for the trade. This consolidation here is bad for the trade, and that's why I end up getting stopped out. That's why. So I was right. I was right on skipping the trade, and I was right on us having resistance here. At least for now. I'm not gonna say it's not potentially gonna work in New York. Okay, it's okay, it's not gonna work. Oh my god, I can't stop being him, bro. I can't stop, please. Oh my fucking god. What are we doing? Why are we melting so hard? Low resistance. But we didn't. Don't like that we don't have that getting mitigated there. Pretty good reaction. Now we're retracing. We're retracing. And then we end up melting. Now we're retracing. Good sell side rate, but I don't like that we tap this area. I don't like, unless we see like a 1 hour gap confirm press lower. I want to see this get inversed, but it's lunchtime. I mean, it did get inversed, and it did even retested right here, and we do end up holding lower, but we just massive. The area is too strong that we're in. So it's too likely we see some bullish intent, or at least a reaction higher. Okay, so let's look at price once again. Buy sell liquidity rate into hourly AVG, into hourly gap, which, or hourly inverse, which makes the trade valid, but I just don't trust it. Oh my god, I just don't trust it. That's a very retraced. Like, this break was weird as fuck. I was considering us going lower still after the manipulation, but yeah. We're just gonna wait for one more really good setup. That's all I'm gonna do right now. Wait for a really good setup, and that's gonna be back testing for this day. Not much. How much is the o'clocker? 7:22. I do want to see, for me to be trading here, I don't like that. It's kind of weird. I don't want to see this get inverse if we know it isn't. So if we get 1 hour gap lower, it more like confirms us holding lower. Okay. So I would actually be down on taking shorts now towards this. Is this resistance? I call it more like structure, but yeah. This is decent. I would actually say that. We have these recent equal lows here. 2R, perfect 2R. But resistance, that's what makes me iffy about the trade. We did have 4 hour. Okay, to 4 hour to 4 hour. But realistically, I don't really like that we have this. Oh my god, no way it ends up failing. And oh my god, there's so many trades. Like, I realize now that if there's one thing I don't like about a trade, meaning high resistance or something that I think it makes it too risky, it's just worth skip it instantly. Good thing I didn't trade it and decided to skip this, because it's another fucking trade getting skipped. We're bullish at this point. We're pre-bullish. We did massively reject of this low. I was looking at this. This is the reason why I didn't like this trade, because of this 4 hour inversion and also resistance. Pretty much we had resistance around this area, so that's why I didn't like it. I don't really like Asia here. I don't want to looking at buys to target this fill here, because this is low resistance to me and this is what I want to be trading. But I don't really like how we're setting up the buys in Asia here. We did already come and fill that shit and already almost wigged, but I do like the sell side. God damn, I do like the sell side. It's London, almost New York, but let's consider higher time frame. I don't know if you want to be buying into a 4 hour AVG. Decent break, but I don't want to be buying into a 4 hour AVG. I wanted to target the fill, but I don't want to be buying after it already got mitigated, even though it looks like a good AAA day. I don't want to be doing that shit. Oh my god, see why? This is exactly why, because price struggles so fucking much to break. It didn't even take London highs. Oh my god, like my ability got so much better now at identifying low probability setups. And look what happened. We almost sweep the low and then we continue. Like, this is obviously, by how price behaves, a trade you should be skipping. I wanted to target the field, meaning we would have gotten a trade here. Now we're targeting price draw towards this big ass gap, those low resistance gap. But once it gets reached, it's very risky to be taking buys, because there's a very big chance we see bearish intent build from here, because it's still a 4 hour gap. Especially after we take this buy side, I feel like we're very likely gonna reverse. Also, Asian highs being pretty strong here. It depends. Let's see what it do. Okay, London open. Okay, let's check. London open. What do we have? We do have this almost, but we didn't even reach into it. We do have the hourly gap into an inversion, but guess what? We're not allowed to trade. Why? High resistance. So even if it works, we cannot be trading this. It's just better. It's better to avoid low probability scenarios. No matter what, still a low probability scenario, still a strong ass consolidation that is likely to be holding. If you break lower from here, it's pretty much gonna go, but it's a slow break. A goofy ass break. Goofy So now all I'm doing is waiting for that extra confluence, which we just got here, but it's still early Asia. This becomes our gap, also coupled with a 4-hour inversion here. This has potential for a good trade, except what I don't like is this. Let's see. Hourly doesn't look bad. It's just that, yeah, Supreme is discount, almost discount prices. I don't really like Asia here. I would want to see that get mitigated, which we probably won't do. Oh shit, we retested this, I think. Yeah, we retested this, but it's New York. Okay, we reached the low. Let me see. So now we can already be expecting some bullish intent once again. Range is really voided. This is what I like to trade in, even if it's against trend. But we need to be seeing some type of confluence here. Our only confluence for now is the sell side getting raided. Yeah, and we end up having like some London news, I'm pretty sure. And we just end up holding bearish. Well, we can be looking for continuations at this point, but really risky because of the slow. Very risky, but has potential for London continuation. This is bearish inspection. This is classic. This classic news behavior, like some dog shit, fucking candle on open that just fakes out everyone. But let's see, May 27. May 27. Apparently we don't. And I don't know. This is just very news type candle, which yeah, very news type shit. But weird ass price action, goofy ass, weird ass, goofy ass, weird ass, goofy ass. Weird price action. I feel like it's gonna hold lower. It's gonna do something like this right here. Oops, not this. Something like this. Oh my god, no way. No fucking way, bro. Why? I'm constantly feeling like I've seen this price action, but I did backtest a lot. But no fucking way I predicted that shit to the T. I can't stop, man. I can't stop being him. God damn. So we end up being at this 5 trades taken, 60% rate, 3 wins, 2 losses. Could have been a bit better, but it just takes a lot of. It looks like a fucking mathematic drawing. We stalled for so much here. Not really. But I don't know what this equity curve is. But still, maintaining a 60% rate is staying pretty strong. Like, I'm learning how many trades you can actually filter. But yeah, I'm still gonna keep going. We didn't have a lot of enablers set up. I feel like the market was in a really not great state in general. In this period, we just had this massive consolidation. Now we're finally breaking down. So in terms of opportunities here, not really a lot. This London could have been an opportunity of the hourly gap. And we did have this pretty good break here, maybe on the extra confluence here. Stop loss at the high of this rate of this high. Looking to target what? This is a strong low. So this, and that would have been the idea. But yeah, we're finally initiating lower after so much time. We were really trading in low probability conditions here until we switched here. That's when we switched, and that's when we started holding really proper order flow. And the this was the time when conditions kind of switched in our favor, but we ended up melting like Asia. Here we ended up melting news. Here we ended up melting New York PM. Like, the opportunities just didn't really align, even in this bearish order flow. But it's fine. I still maintain a 60% win rate, which is fine. Not a lot of trades, but I'm confident I can maintain this. Today I do plan on backtesting a lot and finishing this if possible, finishing this year at least, and seeing if I'm able to maintain. Like now, right now I'm really focusing on data a lot. This trade ended up working as well. A demo trade, very definitely not something I would take. Now with the information I have right now, too high resistance, and AUD/USD ended up being stronger than GU. My bad. But yeah, definitely not a trade I would take. Euro ended up fucking melting massively of that consolidation. But no real trades today. Gold, I wanted to see that show. Okay, my sell idea played out perfectly on gold. I wanted to short towards these equal lows but we didn't get the retrace which we wanted. The retrace within this high here, taking this New York high, and price just ended up melting. Overall, still a W day. Yeah, UK also was watching UK as well, but no reaction, no retracement. And yeah, DAX, oh my god, DAX ended up pending a whole fucking range. But yeah, I'm gonna see you. This was it for the stream. Thank you for being here. And I'm gonna see you tomorrow. I'm gonna keep on backtesting. As I said, this period, my focus was a bit more in data, and it's still gonna be a bit more in data, just to kind of, I don't reassure myself. I want to go at least 1 year and just kind of get a bit more data on my trading. Even though I have a lot of data, I still want to do it, and I'm gonna try and make some YouTube videos, start posting a bit more content. But yeah, I'm tired. I mean, it's 8, so I'm gonna see you